Frank is 65 years old. Every morning he heads to the park and walks for 2 hours straight. He pushes himself to hit 10,000 steps a day because he believes that's the secret to a long and healthy life. But after 6 months, his blood sugar is still high, and his right knee is swollen and aching. What Frank doesn't know is that the number 10,000, the number he trusts completely, never came from medical science. So where did it come from? It came from a Japanese marketing campaign in 1965. A company released a pedometer called the Manpoke, which literally means 10,000 step meter. They picked that number because it sounded nice and was easy to remember, and we've been following it blindly for almost 60 years. Today, I'm going to show you 3 things. First, what modern science says the real number should be. Second, why the way you walk matters far more than how many steps you take. And third, a simple 15-minute protocol that could completely transform the health of your legs. In 2022, a landmark study was published in the Lancet Public Health, one of the most respected medical journals in the world. Researchers analyzed data from over 47,000 people across 15 international studies. The results surprised a lot of people. For adults over 60, the health benefits of walking peak at around 6,000 to 8,000 steps per day. Beyond that point, walking more provided almost no additional benefit. A separate study from Harvard in 2019, involving nearly 17,000 older women, found something similar. Meaningful health improvements began at just 4,400 steps per day, and the benefits plateaued at around 7,500 steps. So here's the real question: if 6,000 steps is already enough, why are some people walking 12,000 steps a day and still dealing with joint pain and high blood sugar? The answer comes down to one single word: how. How you walk matters far more than how many steps you take. And here are 3 mistakes I see the vast majority of older adults making. But before I get into those mistakes, I'm curious about you. Drop a comment right now and tell me, how many minutes do you walk each day? And do you walk alone, or do you have a walking buddy? I read every single comment, and I'd love to hear about your routine. Alright, let's get into those 3 mistakes. Mistake number 1, walking too long on hard surfaces without proper footwear. A lot of people assume that more walking is always better, so they walk for 1 to 2 hours on concrete sidewalks, asphalt roads, or even hard tile floors. After the age of 50, the cartilage inside your knee joints gradually thins over time. That's a natural part of aging. When you walk for too long on hard surfaces with shoes that have little to no cushioning, the repetitive impact goes straight into your knees and spine. Now, this does not mean walking is harmful. In fact, moderate walking actually helps your joints produce synovial fluid, the natural lubricant that nourishes cartilage. The problem is walking too much on hard surfaces, beyond your joints' ability to recover. The solution is simple. Invest in a pair of walking shoes with good cushioning, and whenever possible, choose to walk on grass or dirt paths in the park instead of concrete sidewalks. Mistake number 2, walking too slowly. The stroll and sightsee style. I get it. Morning walks are also a time to relax, enjoy the scenery, and catch up with friends. That's great for your mental health. But if your goal is to control blood sugar, improve cardiovascular fitness, and maintain muscle strength, then your walking speed matters a great deal. There's a protein in your muscles called GLUT4. Think of it as a door that allows sugar to move from your bloodstream into your muscle cells. This door opens wider when you exercise at a moderate intensity, meaning you're walking fast enough that your breathing is noticeably quicker than normal. You can still hold a conversation, but you couldn't sing a song. Walking very slowly still has some benefits, but it only cracks that GLUT4 door open a little. Walking at a brisk, moderate pace throws that door wide open. Mistake number 3. No warm-up before and no recovery after. So many people walk out their front door and start walking at full pace immediately. Their knees, ankles, and hips aren't ready yet. Then after they finish, they go straight home and sit on the couch or stand in the kitchen cooking. No stretching, no proper hydration. Think of your body like a rubber band. If you stretch a rubber band when it's cold and stiff, it snaps. But if you warm it up first and release it gently afterward, it lasts so much longer. Let me go back to Frank, the man I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Frank is 65 years old with type 2 diabetes. He walked 2 hours every morning, averaging 11 to 12,000 steps. He was incredibly disciplined, but when he came in for his checkup, his HbA1c was still sitting at 7.8, quite high, and his right knee had started to swell. What was his problem? He walked at a very leisurely pace, a strolling speed, on concrete sidewalks, wearing thin canvas shoes. And he never warmed up or stretched afterward. He was walking a lot, but he was walking wrong. Now let me tell you about Linda. She's 62, also has type 2 diabetes, and started her walking routine around the same time as Frank. But Linda only walked for 15 to 20 minutes each morning using the method I'm about to show you. She bought a proper pair of cushioned walking shoes. She walked on the dirt path in her local park. And she always stretched after she was done. After 3 months, her HbA1c dropped to 6.9, no knee pain.
And she told me something I'll never forget. She said, "You know what, Doc? I feel so relieved that I don't have to force myself to hit 10,000 steps anymore. I walk less now, and I feel better than ever."
That is exactly the message of today's video. It's not about walking more, it's about walking right. And here is the exact protocol. This protocol has 3 phases. It takes just 15 minutes. You don't need a step counter. You don't need any fancy apps. All you need is your body and a safe, open space. Phase 1. Warm up. The first 3 minutes. Walk slowly and gently while lifting your knees slightly higher than normal with each step. Let your arms swing naturally. The purpose of this phase is to gradually raise your heart rate and pump blood to your knees, ankles, and hips. This allows your joints to produce synovial fluid, their natural lubricant, before you pick up the pace. Think of this as warming up the engine before you drive. Phase 2. Interval walking, the middle 7 minutes. This is the most important part. You're going to alternate between 1 minute of brisk walking and 1 minute of easy walking. Repeat this cycle for 7 minutes. That gives you roughly 3 to 4 rounds of brisk walking. What does brisk mean exactly? It means a pace where you can still talk, but you can't sing. If you can comfortably sing a full song while walking, you're going too slow. If you're gasping and can't get a single sentence out, why does the interval approach work so well? A study from Shinshu University in Japan, published in Mayo Clinic Proceedings in 2019, demonstrated that interval walking training improved physical fitness, lowered blood pressure, and controlled blood sugar significantly better than continuous walking over the same distance in middle-aged and older adults. And this is also the phase where GLUT4, that blood sugar door I mentioned earlier, opens the widest. Phase 3, cool down and backward walking, the final 5 minutes. The first 2 minutes, slow down gradually and walk at a comfortable, easy pace to let your heart rate come back down. The last 3 minutes, walk backward, very slowly, on a flat, safe surface. Now I know this sounds strange, but the medical research on backward walking is actually very serious. A study published in the North American Journal of Medical Sciences in 2013 found that patients with knee osteoarthritis who practiced backward walking for 4 weeks experienced significant reductions in knee pain and meaningful improvements in functional mobility compared to a group that only did conventional exercises. Here's why it works. When you walk backward, your quadriceps, the muscles on the front of your thigh that protect your knee, have to work much harder. But at the same time, the impact force on your knee joint actually decreases. In other words, you're strengthening the muscles that guard your knee without putting extra stress on the knee itself. One important safety note: only practice backward walking on flat, familiar surfaces, a grass lawn or the floor inside your home. If you've never done this before, hold on to a wall or a railing for your first few sessions. Never walk backward on a public road or on uneven ground. This section is short, but it might be the most important thing you hear today. Most people finish their walk and consider it done, but your body needs 3 things after every walking session. Number 1, stretch for 2 to 3 minutes. Focus on your calves, the front of your thighs, and your hip flexors. It doesn't need to be complicated. Just hold on to a chair, bend one leg back behind you, hold it for 20 seconds, then switch sides. Number 2, rehydrate immediately. Older adults have one important characteristic that many people don't realize. Your sense of thirst decreases as you age. You could be dehydrated and not even feel thirsty. So drink water before, during, and after your walk, whether you feel thirsty or not. For a 15-minute walking session, plain water is perfectly fine. Number 3, give your body time to rest. After your walk, sit and rest for 10 to 15 minutes. If you can, soak your feet in warm water. This helps dilate the blood vessels in your feet and improves circulation. This is the moment when your body actually recovers and becomes stronger. Let me bring it all together. 1. 10,000 steps is not a magic number. For adults over 60, science shows that 6,000 to 8,000 steps is already optimal. 2. How you walk matters more than how much you walk. 15 minutes done right, combining interval walking and backward walking, delivers far greater benefits than 2 hours of casual strolling. 3. Recovery after your walk. Stretching, hydrating, resting is just as important as the walk itself. Now, I have a small challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, instead of pushing yourself to hit 10,000 steps, try this 15-minute protocol. Pay special attention to the 3 minutes of backward walking on a grass lawn or inside your home, and here's what I'd love you to do. After that, come back to this video and leave me a comment. Tell me 3 things. First, how long have you been walking regularly? Is it weeks, months, or years? Second, how many minutes do you usually walk each day? And third, who do you walk with? Your spouse, a friend, a neighbor, or do you walk solo? I ask because I want to build this community around real people with real routines. Your comment might be the thing that inspires someone else to finally get started. If you want to know the safest resistance exercises to prevent age-related muscle loss after 60, without ever stepping foot in a gym, watch my next video right here. Remember this, you don't age because of time, you age because of habits that never change. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so that every week we can change one small habit together for an old age that's healthier, stronger, and freer. This video is for educational purposes only. Please consult your doctor before making any changes to your exercise routine.